Yo, what's poppin'? All my peeps, it is I, your host with the most Renaissance man who always thinks he can, and champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back for another episode of Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show. And of course, you cannot have Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show without the best of the West. You can't forget about Sarah Marshall. What's poppin', girl?
Hey, yo.
It's Thirsty Thursday. You
That
know what
was
that
the-
means.
You,
Oh,
was
just
some weird
Scott Hall.
moment. Oh, well, I mean, okay. All right, fair. Valid.
Yeah.
What do you mean a weird Thursday? What do you...
Thirsty Thursday. I said it's Thirsty Thursday. I was saying it like that's why I was like, oh, Scott. Like,
Why? It also,
I'm being thirsty.
I mean, well, you also should be thirsty where you are because it's 1,001 degrees outside.
It is
I need to know the temperature.
111.
That's
111.
unbelievable.
That
is unbelievable.
Yeah, and just a couple hours north, it's 83. I'm like, what's that like? Just to be a couple hours north, you know, just living the dream.
Oh my God, that's north is 83, still ridiculous.
Hello,
you got it. Bernard,
Hello.
David,
Hello.
and Nathaniel letting us know that Edge is returning tomorrow. I'm excited too.
I don't care.
I'm more excited for Grayson Waller.
Yeah, I'm just, I mean, how many times did we talked about this like months ago where it's like Edge returning is just not exciting because he has like 4 returns every year now. So I don't care. But also it's like I was never a big Edge fan. Like I appreciated what he did and stuff, but I wasn't like, buying merch and bringing signs and like looking forward to his match. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't
such a
me.
good point. Because I was the same way with him and Chris Jericho. And for a long time, it was like Edge, Chris Jericho, Christian, kind of that mid-card talent. I just wasn't a fan. I mean, Chris Benoit, it took me a little bit. Kurt Angle, I wasn't the biggest fan of for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But as you start to watch, you just realize how awesome these guys are and the shit that they can do.
Yeah.
And also the longevity. I'm going to hold my point about longevity with Chris Jericho, but Edge, I think the reason why we're just like, nice, awesome, like, good to see you, and not overly excited is because he's back technically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's not like we know where he's been in a way. We know that there's an expiration date to him coming back at some point. So that day when he does have to, retire or leave WWE, whatever the case may be, we're not really ready for that right now. I don't think anyone's ready.
It makes me even more mad though that he won WrestleMania and then just like dipped out afterwards. Like, this is why Finn should have won, but whatever. He also did. I forgot to tell you. You should. I have to finish the After the Bell episode with Finn on it, but I did see when he was talking about when he got busted open at WrestleMania.
And, I saw a clip about that. Yeah.
Unbelievable. He's just being like, he didn't think it was that bad. He was like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, it's just a little blood. And then the doctor was like, oh, it's bad. And just like gave him 3 staples. And he was like, all right, let's go. Like, he was just like, okay. And I'm like,
in
he's
no
a
other
beast.
Sport. In no
He's a
other
beast.
anything.
I know. Because I mean, and he's a repeat offender. I mean, like, people I don't think understand the extent of how bad and painful his injury was against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Like, it sounds like a lot, so you're like, oh wow, he had a lot done. Like, but you also don't realize, 1, how early on it was in the match. 2, how painful that would be. Like, my shoulder popped out today. Speaking of, all I did was like put my arm on the banister as I was going down the stairs, and my shoulder was like cha-chung, and I was like, cool, okay, just for no reason, just like being like, I'm still here. And I was like, okay. So yeah, it's like I can't imagine popping my own shoulder back in, ripping tendons and muscles, and I don't know. He's a beast.
I know. do
He's
not
like
understand
he's my
understand the
beef.
pain. I don't. It's
He's
yeah. You have a lot
mm,
of them. You have your own Baylor club. You get what I
yeah.
mean.
hmm
I didn't want to. This was yeah. Here we go.
He
Edge.
does have one, yeah.
It's not the greatest. Which, off the
Mm,
top of your head, when you say like, hear the greatest theme song in WWE history, what do you think it is?
Batista. I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. Batista, Edge, Stone Cold, Vince
Stone Cold is
McMahon.
one. Vince
Vince
McMahon's sneaky underrated.
McMahon really is though. Like it's a banger, but also it just like fit him to a
Oh,
T.
it's
Like
yeah.
it doesn't matter when he came out. You know, he didn't have to be a bad guy. It was like, no, yeah, this is his attitude in a song. You
No
know,
chance in hell.
yeah, yeah.
It personified his. Oh, it was incredible. I would have to either Stone Cold. I mean, my bias goes Rock because when you hear him, I mean that's just bias. DX, NWO.
Original Triple H
Wait,
in
wait,
general.
my time,
My time, but also the game, both
and then King of Kings.
top 10. Top. I don't really like the King of Kings.
How do you not like it?
I don't like dislike it, but now it just reminds me of like corporate Triple H. So like I don't
But that's
like
it.
but I don't like get excited about it the way of like the game or like my time. Like they're both so good.
Fair. Okay,
Yeah.
I see your point.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I hear any of Triple H's theme songs, they just get me fired up. The game, you're gonna get a warrior, so like he has the sides now where you're gonna get the corporate all business Paul, you're gonna get the King of Kings,
Yeah.
but when he's into battle, it's the game.
Mm-hmm.
I love that element of it. But yeah, um, those are my picks. And we talked. You know what, Sarah? I'm done rambling here. I think we need to go to. All right, let me get this comment out of the way beforehand. I think we need to go to our favorite segment of the week.
Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud.
Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud. Our lemon and rosebud of the week. For anyone who is new, welcome. We just welcomed you. And it's when a rosebud, when we say our rosebud of the week, it's the best thing we saw in wrestling, in all of wrestling. And then the lemon is the worst thing we saw in wrestling this week. So I'm in a good mood. So Sarah, start off with your rosebud, girl.
I would say I think I would say I have two. One would be I think Money in the Bank. I think Money in the Bank delivered. It was pretty I mean other than two matches we didn't like the finishes of I feel like it delivered from beginning to end and it was really it was a good pay-per-view for having gone 6 weeks without one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it really did get me more excited I think for SummerSlam. So that I think was good. And then also I am very happy that it looks like Finn is still going to be like going for Seth Rollins in at SummerSlam. So I'm happy that that is not dead and gone as, you know, I alluded to earlier about, you know, the whole WrestleMania debacle. I still disagree with to this day, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And he also talked about the demon too. You need to watch. You need to watch
I
because I
gotta get
think
up on my watching.
the demon I think is definitely DOA, like we thought. Because he wants it to be. We'll talk about
You
it.
agree?
Do I agree?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, other than the fact that they squashed the demon again at WrestleMania. But hearing his explanation for it made me be like 100% on board because he said that when he would do that, you know, prior to being a WWE, it was kind of like it was like exuding a part of himself that you know he didn't normally get to and it kind of got him into the zone for a specific match and whatever. And so then they wanted him to use it in WWE, but then basically what he was making it seem like is that they commercialized it too much, because then they made like masks and shirts and like like the hats and like headbands, and like it became too in my opinion, it almost is like too kid friendly. Like it became like too commercialized. It's just the best way that I could like summarize what he was saying. And so
yeah.
he kept doing it because he was doing it to please others, because he felt like he needed to, so that they could get like great pictures and great merchandise and this and like an advertisement.
Team player.
Yeah. And so he said that basically because he had to do that, it's like it's not fun for him anymore. Like it felt more like work rather than being like an extension of himself. So I'm like, okay, so see, like we're not crazy, because we were saying like the fact that they kept burying the demon was a problem, but he wasn't feeling it either. So I'm fine with it. Like I like this whole vibe that he goes with right now, with like the mask that he comes out with now when he's like, when he's being all serious and stuff.
He's being Killer Instinct, Terminator.
When he's like just looking really good and stuff, just like wearing a jacket with no shirt and like whatever, like just looking tasty.
That should be my look. What
looking
if I
like
try doing that?
Just wearing a leather jacket with no shirt.
Bomber jacket, no shirt.
All right.
We'll pocket that for the
Okay.
fall. We'll pocket that.
Okay.
That could be hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with the Demon King. Sad as that.
Don't say Demon King. It's Demon. Don't. We don't say Demon King. No.
Why do we? What did I do?
We don't say Demon King because that was their way of trying to make it different from Kane, but no one fucking called it Demon King. That's such a stupid name. So
Demon
stupid.
King.
No, Demon. He was the demon.
I like Demon King.
I hate it. I hated it. Ick. Gives me the ick,
See, Demon just doesn't feel finished. It feels like he's like the demon.
Like, no, he is the demon Finn Balor.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, not my lemon. My rosebud of the week. I've been thinking a lot about this, and I'll bring it up now as a teaser to the 3 count.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a controversial take.
Uh-oh.
And I don't have a lot of like. It might not be that controversial, but we are WWE pod here in a way with the amount of content. But I think the best villain in wrestling, including WWE right now, heel, whatever, is Don Callis in AEW. The man gets booed at the same octave as Dom. Dirty Dom, excuse me. Sorry, Dirty Dom. Same octave. But he keeps going with what he's saying. Like, it just doesn't even faze him.
Mm-hmm.
So him and Jericho had an interaction last night where he's trying to start his own family, kind of like what Bobby the Brain Heenan did.
Mm-hmm.
He like started his own family there to take down Kenny Omega. And he's trying to recruit people that have beaten Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
He goes out to Jericho, interferes in his promo, whatever, and asks him to join. It was all you heard was boos and muffled conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God they had a microphone. But that spurs a thought in my mind that Dom needs to kind of take a little bit from Don Callis here and just keep going. I know probably WWE doesn't like that. They want, you to hear the boos, have them commentate on it, whatever. But you need him to take that next step as a heel where it doesn't even faze him.
I know, and we've talked about that before. We were saying how it would be more entertaining if he played into it. Like if he just like ignored it or like talked back, because now we're at the point where he just like stops and like looks and then Rhea says something, It would be kind of cool if he like played it up a little bit.
Play it up. It makes you look a little bit, honestly, tougher. As just generic as that sounds.
Mm-hmm.
But it does at the end, it makes you seem like you really don't care about what they think, which is what a heel is.
Yeah.
And why it's still my Rosebud is because Don Callis, Kenny Omega, Blackpool Combat Club, Elite, that whole feud right now in AEW is up there with the Bloodline. 1B, obviously, because Bloodline is the best story in wrestling.
This is such good shit.
Way to be, Sarah, on the God, great, good. That's such good shit out of you. But it's the best. It's the other number one feud in wrestling right now, and it's the reason why I don't really care what the cost is. I need to find a way to Blood and Guts at the Garden, because it would be also, get this. You want to talk about
Yeah.
talk about some nonsense here. I would have seen in the last 2 pay-per-views I've gone to, pay-per-views, keep in mind, I've gone to at the Garden. It would have been both 2-ring steel cage matches.
Mm.
And I say Blood and Guts pay-per-view because that's what they do. Their shows or pay-per-views. You get the point. But I would have seen, I need this, why I need it to happen. 2 War Games type matches. And the second one, Blood and Guts, is a lot more hardcore. And the fact that I could possibly see Kenny Omega, the greatest wrestler on God's green earth, wrestle in my city.
Oh my God.
That would be like a spiritual moment.
I would like, my body would like float above my real body, and it would be like an outer body experience.
Yeah.
I would literally be like floating above my body, looking down at my body and being like, wow.
I'd be Casper, and it would just be just me looking out, enjoying the moment with the Tribunal. It'll be awesome. That's why, that's my Rosebud. But Sarah, we've talked a lot of good.
Yep.
What's some bad? What we got bad this week in wrestling?
Matt Riddle. That's it.
That's new.
That's it. Matt Riddle existing. I would say the worst part for me,
just him existing,
the
is
fact that
really
he's still breathing. Me. The fact he's still breathing air. No. In general, it would be Matt Riddle. I'm just like being paired up with Drew McIntyre. I'm just, and I can't decide if like our Imperium already moving in a different direction, so we're not even gonna get Imperium versus KO and Sammy. Like, what are we doing? So that is partially where I'm like, what are we doing? Because their match next week is like Imperium versus Drew and that other dude. So I don't even feel like I should say his name. The dude. That dude.
No, don't call him dude. Don't ruin my word. Don't call him the dude. Everyone's my dude. If you call him dude, call him the bro.
No, because I'm like advertising him.
You're commercializing him.
I'm so good. I don't know. But anyway, that guy. So I'm like, I'm hoping, like you said when we talked about it, that it's a one-off, that it's just like a thing that they're going to do to have Imperium be in a match, which is obviously going to lead to McIntyre versus Gunther, whatever. But I'm like, I don't want Matt Riddle anywhere near any of my favorites right now. Can you just stop leeching off of people that are more talented than you? Can you please like go back to mediocrity, brother? Okay, just go there. That's what I should call him, brother.
Brother, there it is.
Brother. I've been saying that a lot lately. I'm like, yeah, brother, let's go, brother. I've been saying that a lot, like I'm Hulk Hogan. I was
thinking that, yeah.
Yeah, but. Yeah. So anyway, so I don't like that part, you know.
I don't
you guys
agree
shocked?
with you, but I empathize.
I'm sure everyone who normally watches us is really shocked to hear me say anything negative about Matt Riddle. I can't.
What?
It's like so out of character for me.
God, you're not living your gimmick, okay? You're just not. My lemon. I don't. Why do I not care about Collision? Like, why do I just not care about it?
Because it is run by Phil.
what was it?
Phil.
No, half. They called him a half mil Phil.
Ew. Yeah, but that's probably
That
why.
was so funny. That was
Because
a really good one.
Spilly Millie. Spilly
No,
Millie.
we're not talking about them yet.
I know, I'm just saying.
Collision just doesn't interest me in the slightest, and it has nothing to do with the fact that it's on Saturdays at 8, because there's going to be in the near future at some point where I don't want to do anything on a Saturday night at 8 except watch Collision or watch
Yeah.
anything. So
Mhm.
that's fine. It's just right now it feels very, I don't want to say green, but just no, the green's not the right word.
Well,
Like
I mean,
it's
basically,
money grabbing. Like you have CM Punk, Samoa Joe. It's like, all right, you're making it their show, but why are you doing a show for them? Like, I get Miro. I'm actually okay with Miro being one of the featured people. Like Thunder Rosa has been advertised, and I don't think I've seen her once. And I rewatch this stuff. It's not like I don't
yeah.
watch it. Like I'll rewatch it when I'm hungover on Sunday, but I don't see her. Like what? Like I'm just the
Was
people
it
they've advertised. Andrade's good. He's had some good matches, but like CM Punk, he just it's stale, and he's dragging he's dragging FTR down with him, and I don't like that.
and wasn't it was it created basically to cater to Punk so like he could come back but like not cause issues, or was it already in the works before that? Because it kind of
I'll
feels
just
it was
say the
like
stars
you
aligned.
okay, because it just feels like it was something that was created to cater to Phil, and so
So
that
yeah,
he was able to come back and not have to be around the guys that he wanted to kick their ass. Which I'm sure, like, if you're just walking around and you see Phil, he just instills that fear in you. He just looks like a guy that's just gonna kick your ass, bro.
I
The
just
fact that
so
he needs to use chairs and shit, I'm really scared of like a 40-year-old flabby man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it's just stale to me. It's just the whole thing is stale, and
Yeah.
to go
It's
on,
funny
that's
because
where I was like, what?
aren't we like a week removed from you telling me that I need to watch it? It's like a week ago or something. You were like, you should really watch Collision.
No, I feel like the style of it, like that's the thing, is that like it's watchable. I'm not staying in to
You're
watch it,
just,
you know what I mean?
yeah, you're just not like looking forward to it or
Like
something.
Friday nights, realistically, Friday nights, I could go out, be home
Mhm.
by 10 or whatever, and then go to work, whatever, watch SmackDown, then we hop in the Art of Streams.
Mhm.
But as we're going to talk about, I would much rather watch the tribal chief get just roasted by his
Yeah.
Samoan family. I just
Yeah.
in MSG.
Yeah.
Like, I just would rather that. So in
SmackDown's killing it.
Collision, I think if you give a CM Punk Samoa Joe and do it right, you maybe get some fresh faces
Mhm.
who aren't old vets. You know what it is, too? That's it. Brain blast, Jimmy Neutron. It is a lot. It's a big feeling of the end of WCW,
Yeah.
where it was just the big names were going to be doing their thing. There wasn't anyone they're really developing, which I get. It's like a few weeks in, and I know Malachi Black did say that he wants to be on Collision too. So then we'll get the House of Black, and they're awesome. It's just get me there. I may be impatient, but get me there, and you're
Well,
not
but
there.
but I feel like, I mean, I understand some things take time, but wouldn't you want to try and have some of your best stuff out early on? Like, because you're going to want to make sure that people are staying in and watching your show. And from what I've seen right now, the numbers are bad
They're
for
not good.
Collision. So it's like, obviously, something's not going the way they thought it would because people aren't watching. So like why wouldn't you try to like turn it up a notch and try and figure out a way to get those people to come in and stay? And the problem is, I mean, one problem is the fact that it's on Saturday night. That's like not the best time
They're in
to
the fall.
be.
They're gonna get crushed.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
it's
gonna get
not. I mean, I
crushed.
get the appeal of it. You want 3 shows or whatever a week, and then like a WWE pay-per-views on Saturday, so you kind of want to like pull people away. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't seem it feels counteractive to me. Like you would want to put out your best stuff first, because then if you started to hit mediocrity, at least then it's like you already had these people watching,
Yeah.
religiously. So by that point it's like, okay, whatever, but people aren't going to keep watching a brand new show if it's this bad all the time.
I disagree with this. It's too goofy. I think that's just the wrong word. Audience is too niche. Yeah, okay, that's a better word for it. It's the audience
Yeah.
niche, and it's because they want a different product than WWE. It doesn't mean that that's the same audience is going to isn't going to WWE or whatever. They're probably just the common fan, but you got to find a way to drag the WWE faithful away to your product. So,
Well, because those are people who have been watching, 10, 20, 30 plus years. So when people are loyal to WWE, there are people that make fun of them on social media, but it's like, basically their entire life, the company has
you grow
been in
up.
existence. So that's why. But it is, I think a lot of the problem is just the social media reaction to AEW and WWE. And it's like Twitter and Instagram and YouTube has made it into this like
Reds.
bigger rivalry than I think it really is. And it becomes more of a rivalry amongst the fans than the actual product. You know what I mean? Like they're different shows, and the way that they put things together is different. So obviously if you don't like the way WWE does things, you might like stuff the way that AEW does things, but it's really the fans, I feel, that make it toxic. Because I don't care if you only watch AEW, but if you're constantly talking about how shitty WWE is, then it's like, then like you're not really an AEW fan then. You're just trying to go against, like you're trying to be different and unique. And it's like there are WWE fans that are anti AEW, and most of them it's like because they haven't watched it. You know what I mean? Because like if you try to watch it and you don't like it, that's fine, but you also don't need to obsessively talk about it. Like so it's just a toxic. Wrestling fans are toxic in general online.
Yeah, they're
anyway,
very
though.
toxic.
Yeah.
FCR does deserve better. I just could not agree more. I want to see them feud. Although I do like what they're doing with the tag division right now. I'm waiting for the 3 count. You got to stay through the whole thing. Collision doesn't interest me either. Did you see Coach tweet about Collision and he's dead on? I did not. So if you put it in there, I will read it. What version of The Rock, though, was the one that, when we talk about entrance songs? Hollywood Rock is so underrated. I couldn't agree more. I love that one. Not the best, but that holds a special place in my heart. It's just
the one I like is when it just like he keeps talking throughout the whole thing, and he's like, "The Rock says, the Rock, the Rock, the Rock, the Rock." Like I like that one.
Shut your mouth.
That one's fun. That's because I had the action figure of that one and it played that song on its little boom box. I like that one. I think it's the nostalgia of that. Yeah.
David says Trish Stratus, my homie. We
Jelly.
know you love her, and he says that Trish Stratus will beat Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. I don't know about that.
I haven't thought about it yet. Really.
We haven't thought there. Well, we have 5 weeks to come up with our own theories about that. The Elite are always winning. You to should have won. I mean, no, because you need to have Kenny win in his hometown and home country. And
is he from Canada?
He is from Canada, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Winnipeg. He needs to win in his home country. You'd already got one on him. It's guaranteed for a third. There you go. All right. That's wrestling math for you. Oh, Fight Forever game. I have played a little bit of it. I've been waiting for that weekend day where like no one wants to do anything or where they're with their gal pal girlfriends. So I can stay home and be with my girlfriend, Lady Xbox over there, and just fight forever, literally. So, and then I'll do one more before we go into our main topic. How long do you think Becky and Trish for you to last? Good question.
I would like to think hopefully SummerSlam is kind of like I mean, maybe one pay-per-view after SummerSlam, because I think that would make it 3. Right?
Yeah, I do payback. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're getting to that
Yeah, I
point.
book
I mean,
Payback.
this is something that's been going on since like right after Mania. So,
Yeah.
we're kind of getting to that point where I feel like we're going to be tired of this soon. So,
Yeah, I agree. All right. It's time for our main segment of the week. We're talking Bloodline. They're putting the tribal chief on trial after their win, the Usos win at Money in the Bank. They tweeted out that they're putting the tribal chief on trial this week on SmackDown. Sarah, it's not just the trial of the century, but the place that the trial is being held is no
mhm.
ordinary courtroom. It is probably the home, I would call more of a home for WWE than it is for the sports teams that play there. MSG, and guess what? It's sold out.
Mhm.
They sold out MSG for a SmackDown.
Yep.
Are you kidding? Like,
And they only announced that they were going to be doing a tribal court like earlier this week, right? So I mean, it's like you can't even say, "Oh, it's because they're going to have a tribal court that really
no.
spiked it." It's like, no, they were probably relatively close to selling out before that, and that's kind of what put them over.
Oh, it absolutely. That was what put them over. They
Yeah.
needed something to really sell. They wanted to sell out MSG on it. Like, I see the
Yeah.
vision by Papa Paul. Amazing. And it exactly what I was just alluding to. It makes me want to stay home and watch.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
so excited now to stay home, watch this. If I don't fucking fall, if I fall asleep, Sarah, I'm gonna be so annoyed. I
Why
know
don't you
everybody
come
wants What?
why don't you come home, take a nap, set an alarm, and then make sure that you're up for SmackDown? But at least then, like, you'll have taken a nap.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, Sarah. I've done that. I really
Oh,
appreciate
you
the
just sleep
advice.
through it?
I'll just sleep because it's when you get up at 4 and then you're running around doing all this nonsense shit at work.
Do you have your
It's
phone on volume?
at work.
No, when you're at home. Like, is your phone on volume?
No, but I have my Apple
Oh,
Watch that when I'm
because I was like,
wearing it.
I could just keep calling to wake you up. My sister, when like sometimes when she's putting my nephew to bed, she'll fall asleep. And so I have to like keep texting her over and over and over again because she has an Apple Watch. And so it'll like wake
Oh,
her up. And so I'm like, I was just thinking, like, if you did that, I could just keep calling you until you woke up.
all right, we'll try it out. I'm always champs down for new things. I'm
All
into
right.
that, especially to help me with my wrestling watching. Bro, drink coffee. Do you understand? Do you? All right, I know we're going on a tangent here, but if you want to know this, one, I've also fun. I don't know if you knew this about me, Sarah. I have overdosed on caffeine before. Fun fact. Got
Ugh,
sent to the
how?
hospital. I used to drink a 2 liter of Mountain Dew every
Ugh.
day after school.
How do you like what happens when you overdose on caffeine? Like
You get
what?
wicked dizzy. You have, I would say, it feels like your body, all the air has been sucked out of it, and you
Okay.
just feel just so
Well,
not
because
there. Like
it's
you're just
probably like a combination of caffeine and sugar too,
in dehydration.
because it's like, uh, as I've gotten older, sugary drinks bother me so much more, like especially alcoholic drinks. Like I can't do like sugary alcoholic drinks anymore. That's what messes me up more than the alcohol, you know? So like I had a pre-mixed margarita, the ones that you just buy in the
Yeah, those are
bottle, and
awesome.
yeah, I can't drink them. I got
Oh my,
so sick, like, and it was from the sugar. I wasn't drunk. Like I had like not even half a cup, like a red solo cup. It was like halfway full. I drank like maybe half of it, and I was like, ugh.
it's
Like
like
I
me
was
with
like,
twisted tea. I can't
it
do
was.
twisted tea at all. It's so gross.
I mean, I don't drink that much, but usually when I do drink, I just do shots of tequila because then I just get
Everybody,
messed up faster.
shots,
'cause,
shots,
You
shots.
know,
Drank
but
tequila and ended up on the garage floor. True story. Don't drink coffee, drink water. If you knew my caffeine routine every day, man, it is a W Energy, technically a sponsor of mine over on the Underground. W Energy, I have that's a pre-workout type of thing. Then that starts me off at 5 in the morning. Around 11, my boss sends me to go get coffee for the for the guys, and then I have a cold brew, and then if I need it, like if we're recording, I'll grab an energy drink on the way home. So yeah, we are fired the fuck up.
That might also be why you pass out early.
Oh yeah, crashes
It's
are
a-
definitely real.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
So then
disagreeing
maybe you
with
should
that.
just wait to watch SmackDown.
Yeah, but like I want to be there. I wanna be
Well,
present.
your body says no. So
But my mind,
yeah.
my body's telling me no.
No, my mind's telling me no.
My
But
mind's telling me
body's telling me
no.
yes.
But my body's telling me yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell that no one else in my house is awesome? So back to wrestling. Carlito Rumor return tomorrow. That would make even more sense why MSG is sold out. So we love it. But yeah, back on track here, steering the ship back. The Bloodline Roman on trial feels like that part of the story or a movie or a show you're watching on a streaming service that it's like a halfway point of the series. You know, it feels like that turning point of the series where you're about to enter that final battle, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to get just with the amount of storytelling that's already been done.
Mhm.
I think a lot of questions we've been asking on this show about the bloodline will be answered tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm my biggest thing is I mean I assume it will be, but just I'm thinking back to the trial of Sami Zayn, and that was great. I just am hoping that they make this one even bigger, because like that was a good segment. But we kind of got toyed with a little because there were supposed to be elders there and then they couldn't show up. So I hope that there are elders there. I hope that they do have I wouldn't even be surprised. Wouldn't be mad if it's the last like half hour of the show. Like take the entire half hour, dude. Like I would love that. And I feel like it'd also make it feel like grander or a bigger deal because of who they're putting on trial too. Like Sammy wasn't a bloodline member. So they did quite a bit for his trial, but I mean this is the tribal chief. I feel like it needs to feel like a huge deal. So I think that, it would be nice if we had some surprises, So I hope that we get some of that because I think this could be like huge. And I'm very excited. I just like I never really anticipated to ever be looking forward to like an Usos and Roman Reigns segment, as much as I am like every single week with the bloodline, as long as Roman's there. Because I get irritated when he's not there. But it's the fact that we're this far into the bloodline storyline and it's still feeling like, oh my god, I can't wait until we see it, is just really cool.
It is really unbelievable that it's got legs for this long.
Did you watch
the what?
I was gonna say, did you watch the Usos interview, like the whole thing?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. You should watch that too.
I'm
It's really good because they talk about like just from where they started to where they are and like what it feels like and how cool it is for Solo and how much they're learning, blah blah blah. It's really cool because they don't do interviews that much. So
okay, I want to watch.
Yeah, just to get their behind the scenes feelings about everything because we sit here every single week and talk about how great it is and whatever. So to hear their side of it, it's really cool to see how much work that they put into it and how dedicated they are to like being the best segment or match or whatever every single week. And I feel like it's not quite hit them yet, like how massive this story is. And Ariel Ariel tries to tell him like, and they've heard it. They admit to hearing about people saying that this is probably the greatest storyline to ever be in professional wrestling, but it feels like they don't quite grasp it yet, which I don't blame them. They're still in the middle of it.
Yeah, we're still.
Yeah, but and that's the thing too, like not to get off track, but
no, we're on.
I was thinking about this the other day, and because they mentioned that their end goal would be, well, Jay says like their end goal would be to have the bloodline come back together by like WrestleMania and like be the bloodline again, which I was like, I have so many theories on this, which thought it was really exciting. But I think that there's so much left to do, but the idea of not having the bloodline as a center focus of WWE feels crazy to me. Like, it almost makes me sad to think that there's going to be a point where this story does kind of end because there isn't anything else for them to do or something. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy to think about present day WWE and not being headlined by the bloodline on every single SmackDown or every single pay-per-view, like
No, and
that's a crazy thought.
it's a crazy thought, and especially for the people who kind of are sick of it and will openly complain on Twitter and our other social media sites about, oh, why doesn't this just end, or why can't they be part of the, in the middle of the show? You can't. And
Yeah.
when you have these comments either to yourself or online, and then they go out there and put on the show that they do, they make you eat your words. They've done it to me. I mean, I think was skeptical about them closing one show. It might have been Night of Champions because, I think you want new championship.
Well, just given the fact that they weren't for titles, it was just a match. Yeah.
But the amount of not just story, but everything that goes into that match and how they take it into so many different branches, from the actual wrestling element of it, the brutality of it, the facial expressions, the little nuances of them talking, but the camera picks it up and you have a little bit of a mic'd up in the huddle.
Yeah.
It's so well done that it's not going to hit any of us really for like a couple years. Like,
What's
this
funny is,
documentary, I always think this documentary is going to be fucking bananas.
and it's funny because I do have a friend that started watching wrestling during the pandemic. So she's only known of WWE with the bloodline. So it's going to be interesting for a lot of those people, because I'm sure there are some people who, when you were stuck at home, because we were all stuck at home at the very beginning, especially, there might be some people who decided to give WWE a try. Maybe they never watched wrestling before, but they were like, hey, like, there's nothing on. I'm stuck at home. Let's try. Or people who maybe revisited it. Maybe they were the type that was like, oh yeah, I loved wrestling when I was a kid. And then they get back into it. So it'll be interesting for those people, because those of us that have been watching it for years and years, there are phases of wrestling where it does feel weird to think about someone being gone or a storyline being over, and you move on from it because you have to. But those are people who don't understand that, because in the last 3 years, there hasn't really been massive changes. It wasn't like John Cena kind of like phasing out, or
You
like,
knew that was
you know what I
coming, though,
mean?
with the Hollywood stuff. So that was like,
No, but what I'm saying is like, you knew it was coming, but then it's like once he started to be like gone like every week, it was like, oh, or like in the NFL, like the idea of this year being a Tom Brady-less NFL,
so
like
weird.
that's weird. But it's like we all went through that with like Peyton Manning. It's like at first it's like, oh wow, what? Like,
It's gonna really hit me. It's really gonna hit the wrestling community when Randy Orton hangs it up. That one's gonna sting.
Yeah.
That one is really gonna sting. I want to get some comments because these are awesome comments, and I really just love this. If you could party for one night with one wrestler, who would you party with?
Any wrestler?
There is one answer in my mind right now.
I have an answer too, but just because they're known for partying.
No, I'm going with my guy, Mr. L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
That would probably be a good one.
I would be so electric.
You're never gonna guess who I'm guessing. What I'm thinking. I feel like I need to keep it for the later thing.
Oh, okay. I see where mine's going.
Who else? I don't know. I'd say maybe some of the Europeans, like Sheamus, because he could give you a good whiskey or get get drunk with him with a pint of beer, something fun.
Sheamus, that's another good one. I would love to put down beers at Darcy's with the Brawling Brutes. Sheamus, Brawling Brutes, open invite to my dad's pub, Darcy's pub.
And
Look it up.
Imperium.
Well,
I'm sure
yeah,
they can
Andrew
hang.
McIntyre, the
Andrew
whole
McIntyre.
bunch.
Oh my god.
Darcy's pub.
And me.
Well, yeah, find a flight,
Although,
and then we'll come along. With
Thanks.
open invite all the time. Brawling Brutes and Imperium and whoever. Great question. Cena or Orton, what retirement would hurt more? Orton.
Yeah, I mean, Cena hurts me, but that's because I'm partial. But I think that they're, despite both of them being like the pillars of WWE for the last 20 years, I think it would be Orton, because we know that he doesn't really have those like Hollywood aspirations, and Cena kind of let you into that, knowing that, he did the Marine, and then he was doing all the, randomly other movies and stuff. And so I think that you kind of knew early on enough with Cena that he wasn't going to last in WWE forever. Although he did stick around a lot longer in WWE doing Hollywood than like The Rock did. But yeah, I think with Orton, because we know that when he's retiring, it's like, no, he's literally just going to go home and be a dad and a husband and like chill. That kind of sucks a little bit more, I would say.
Could not have said it better myself. Bernard, thank you, Pat Pitts and Sarah, for shouting me out the other day. You guys rock. No one has ever done that. Well, it's what the champ does. Come on.
I know.
He appreciates his peeps.
I wanted to shout out another person too.
Do it.
We get rid of the comment though, because I don't.
Oh, you have it up.
To the Yeah movement on Twitter.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't follow them, if you're a big LA Knight fan, this is just a Twitter that they just created to support LA Knight, and they already have like 4,000 followers in like a month. It's crazy. But I believe that they were our 700th subscriber.
Oh, it's
also.
right.
And they put out a lot of good content. So I want to make sure. I believe that they're just at the Yeah movement on Twitter. So I wanted to make sure that we said hello to them too. Yes. And we appreciate all of you guys. Shout out to all of you.
Oh, I want to hear this. Okay. So coach's comment, Tony is buying way too much into hardcore wrestling fans and not paying attention to what actually works in entertainment. I would have started more social and TikTok content. He's not wrong. He's not wrong with that. There's a lot of truth to that.
The problem is, and we've talked about this before, is the main reason that Tony got into this, other than the fact that he could put up the money, because like if it weren't for Tony, AEW wouldn't exist, because the other people didn't have the money to.
No one had the money.
Yeah, so it was funded by him and Daddy. He's a mark at heart. You know what I mean? He grew up a wrestling fan. He's a huge mark. He doesn't understand the business side of wrestling. He only understands the fan side of wrestling. So I think that that's where there's that problem, because like Vince McMahon grew up around the business because his dad was a businessman for wrestling. So like even if he grew up a fan, he was put into a position to see the other side that all of us don't get to see. And so then when he was taking over, he was primed and ready, because he grew up with it. It's the same thing with like Stephanie McMahon. She could have easily taken over had she not had to step down, because Vince is a toolbox. But like, I think that's the problem that it seems to me that Tony keeps running into, is that he just does things based off of what social media is telling him, which you cannot listen to what wrestling fans tell you to do, because if you do, you're going to die by your own sword, because
double-edged sword.
Yeah, you can't cater to everybody. You can't make everybody happy. You're going to upset fans. There's going to be fans that are not going to be happy with something. So yeah, he just needs to make better decisions based on what is better for business and the company, and not is what's going to get the best reaction from the majority of fans online. I think that's part of it, or what he wants to see, because he's kind of a mark for his own company,
Yeah, I agree. Oh, sorry, hat trick. So I agree with that, but and there's truth to that. My only other comments I'd say is that you have to have an alternative. I mean, I think we saw that with TNA back in the early 2000s and how they developed their own brand in a sense where there is an alternative, there's a market for it, and it's whatever. Where the that's their style, and it's just you're trying to grow too much externally before you grow internally, in my eyes. That's kind of the easiest way to put it. Um, but I love AEW as the
Well,
AEW person here. But yeah, there's from a fan's perspective of the product, it just seems like that they have something going really well with the product already, and Collision should not be on TNT, but YouTube TV.
well,
Strictly.
and I don't mean that they shouldn't be a competition for like WWE or
Oh,
that
I
they
know.
shouldn't exist. I just mean like there are times where you do have to make decisions where people are going to be upset. Like let's look at WWE for instance. Let's look at WrestleMania. How upset were the majority of wrestling fans after Cody Rhodes lost to Roman Reigns? Like
Mhm.
that was a decision where it was trending on Twitter for days after Mania because people were so upset. That's something that I feel like Tony doesn't want to deal with. He just wants to try and like please as many people as he can. And so he doesn't want to make those tough decisions that like people, because in the long run, as we've talked about before, it makes way more sense for Cody to have lost at WrestleMania than to have won. And so like now that we're months removed, you can admit it that you acted it was like a gut reaction where
Reacted
people were upset.
prematurely.
Yeah. And now you can accept it. And I feel like that's something that if you're not experienced in the business side of wrestling, which I'm not saying I am, but you're not going to be able to like see that beforehand. Whereas like Triple H was like, no, like you're going to see why it's all going to make sense and why it's going to be worth the wait. So to me, it just feels like Tony doesn't understand that all the time. It's not like everything that he does sucks. Obviously, there are loyal fans. They're traveling around the country. Like I don't mean that,
They
but
sold 70,000 tickets to Wembley.
yeah, I mean, so they have to. It's just that he has to get
Insane.
better at making decisions that might be questionable for people at the moment, but it'll make sense down the road. Like you can't, like I said, you can't please everybody all the time.
All right, well, I need to get this out because that's kind of,
I mean,
allegedly.
where's the lie though? Where's the lie?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, it's not a lie. Yeah, I know people always question me too. They're like, "Why do you not like him so much?" I'm like,
You could just go figure it out for yourself.
well, I mean, let's look at when he first got brought up to Raw. Please tell me that wasn't problematic.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Segue it back. Turn it back. Captain steering back the ship here with this comment because I'm a wizard. Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns with The Rock as special guest referee at SummerSlam. That's just going to be a segue to get us back into this and a little food for thought. For our next question, we're going to go a little out of order, but it's all right. Does an elder show up?
I'm hoping multiple elders showed up, but you're talking about The Rock. I don't want The Rock.
I'm just kind of using that as a bridge to get back into our conversation.
I am hoping that we have multiple elders there, and I'm fine with them not advertising it because if it is something that they can't actually have come true, then I'd rather not be disappointed again the same way that we were, like I said, with Sammy's trial. So I think it would be more exciting if we didn't know and there's people there. I would love for like Rikishi, because like he's an anchor in this story for sure. And then he can kind of pull on the heartstrings of Solo as well. So you might not know which side he would take either, which makes that interesting because he has kids on both sides. But I do hope that we have some elders. I wouldn't say The Rock, but I think that would make it feel more official to have more than just the currently signed bloodline members. I'd like to see an extension of the family there.
Could you imagine if The Rock shows up tomorrow night and I would legitimately cry. I would cry. I might go live and cry.
And actually, it's
That'd
like
be the greatest.
Do I think it's going to happen? No, but do I think that there's more of a possibility of it happening because it's at Madison Square Garden? 1,000%. I think
Well,
if it was like in Little Rock, Arkansas, would it be happening? No. But the
no.
fact of where they are, I think that there's definitely a heightened
You got to think about that.
possibility.
You
Yeah.
have to think about that in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's it, and if Rikishi came back and then connecting it with The Rock here, if it gets to a point where we can get Rikishi to say that he did it for The Rock or Solo says it, I would legitimately lose it as well. That is
What
one
if
of my favorite lines in wrestling history.
what if Rikishi comes out to "I'm a bad man" instead of "Too Cool"? You remember his really old entrance
Oh, I
theme?
remember I'm a bad man.
Yeah,
Bad
imagine Rikishi coming out to that.
words, but I remember that. I remember the
That was
tune.
on my the WWF the music.
The green album.
Wasn't it the pie one?
Oh,
I
that
think
was
it
on the
was.
pie one. That's right.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
the green one with the WWF
I had the
logo.
pie one and sang along to the Rock song
Ah,
about pie
ah,
inappropriately
woo.
at like 9 years old.
Let the Rock tell you a little something about pie.
Yeah, like
It's all the
what?
times of pie. Ah, ah, woo. Okay, I'm gonna listen to that song immediately following this because it's so
Okay.
fucking funny.
Yes.
How far back do you think they go? And Sarah, this is an open-ended question because you could say how far back in the Bloodline story, in WWE history, but because it's legitimately the Bloodline, we
Mhm.
could get like some family references. Like
That
that's like how deep are we gonna go?
that I feel like that makes the most sense. So if they are really trying to get through to Roman and kind of like bring him back down to earth, humanize him, I feel like they have to bring up their childhood. They have to bring up like how close they were and uh their common passion over wrestling, which is funny because again, in the interview with the Usos, this wasn't what they ever wanted to do, really. Like they didn't start doing this, starting get into wrestling until they were like 21 years old. So I thought that was interesting. Um but that was because Rikishi and stuff was trying to get them to not do wrestling, as a lot of wrestling families do with their children. But yeah, I feel like if they're trying to just go super deep with it and get through to Roman, the best way that they can, I feel like you have to kind of bring up your past. So I think that if they only bring forward, clips of what's been going on for the last 3 years. And I'm thinking about this as if this is real life, okay? Because like he kind of have to. um, I think if they show him clips of the last 3 years, that wouldn't get through to him because he can be like, well, look at what I've accomplished over the
Yeah.
last 3 years. Like everything I've done has gotten me to this point, and now I'm a legendary champion. I'm the greatest of all time. Like, why would I be upset about where I'm at? So I think that they would have to bring up like, hey, you remember this and remember this and remember how close we were and remember why, whatever. I think that they would have to. But that again, it depends because what if this is just like the first trial of Roman? What if it's something where it's like, this is going to happen again down the road because he doesn't get better? Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe this is something that they think that is going to work, but it doesn't. And then it's like they didn't go deep enough into the feels, into the emotion of it, that it ends up having to happen again. And maybe that's when it becomes like, the Rock gets involved. You know what I mean? Like it might be something that it happens down the road and not right away.
Yeah, the more I'm thinking about this, you can have a Bloodline Samoan story without The Rock. Like there needs to be an element where The Rock is infused into this story.
Mhm.
How it's not schedule issues. I get it. The Rock is probably
He's a
one of the top 5 most famous people in the
busy
world.
man.
He's a busy man. So I get that. But
Mhm.
he wants to be in this too. Deep down The Rock wants to be part of this story in whatever way he can because it is his culture. Like it's his family.
Yeah.
And it would be I would say not the crowning achievement, but the riding off into the sunset moment for The Rock. Because after this, The Rock is just celebrity appearances, guest appearances, and then Hall of Fame whenever that, he wants to do that. So for now, it would be the best way to ride off so that you get that like incredible reaction that you went into the Hall of Fame right after you were part of the greatest story in wrestling. Like, come on.
This is such good shit.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the number one most famous person in the world? It is the People's Champ, the Brahma Bull.
It's me. It's me. It's on TT.
What? No. What? I'm. Oh, why is it on the tip of my tongue? The Trailblazing, eyebrow raising,
Oh,
pie eating, jabroni beating, pie eating. If someone, I need to find that out. I gotta find that out. But yeah, thank you, Bernard. Best story of wrestling. So yeah, back on track here. I love this story like so much. I did not think that I would be this invested at this point. And then not does. This is a when. When the hell does Sami Zayn show up?
I don't know. I mean, it feels inevitable at this point that he will, obviously, because as annoying as it is, and I will never not think it's annoying how often they keep asking him about what's going on with the bloodline. Even like I said, I'm literally Kevin Owens just being like, shut up, like stop asking us about this at this point. But I mean, I think that he might get involved at some point, but at the same time, it feels kind of pointless because I don't know that he could really get through to Roman. You know what I mean? Like, why would he value anything that Sami has to say? So I don't know, like him showing up and being like, yeah, I agree with Jay and Jimmy. Like, this is messed up. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't know that Roman would be like, oh, wait, now I'm taking it seriously because Sami says it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like conflicting for me because I think that it makes sense that he would be involved at this point. But at the same time, I don't know how much it would actually do other than being like a cheap pop for the fans, you know, because it would be like, oh, yay, we get to cheer for Sami. But it's like, and then you kind of get that nostalgia of when he was a part of the bloodline. But as far as like actually impacting what's going on with Roman, I don't know.
He was such a critical role to the bloodline. One of the most undervalued pieces to that puzzle that has kept the train going. It just really was. I have a feeling that the only two ways that they're going to bring him in would be one if they had like a legit court like setting in the ring and they like, bring on your next witness or whatever on the witness stand. And it's like, what did this man do to you? And they like legit interrogate him like a courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
Or is if after it's all said and done, they went to commercial and then you go back, you cut back, and it's Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, like in the locker room, backstage, whatever. But they are so far, like not even paying attention to it. And you get Caleb Braxton or whoever it is on SmackDown, go up to them and ask
Kathy Kelly.
Okay. Oh, she won't be this week. She's on vacation.
Oh, well, she got moved to SmackDown, so.
Oh, maybe she is then. I don't know.
Ooh. Yeah, she's not on Raw anymore. She got moved to SmackDown.
I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see
it's
that.
other girl. That other girl. I can't remember her name. The one that interviewed Cody on the ramp.
Yeah,
that's
you got a shout out.
Yes,
Cody even said her name.
I can't remember her name because she was like she was like a Peacock host. So like she was the one that hosted like the pre-shows and whatever. I can't remember her name, but yeah. So she's on Raw now.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I just and then KO snaps. And KO's like, enough! I can't deal with this anymore. He had the ball. We're not even here. We're like, and then you just get their next opponent. Hopefully, the Street Profits, or LWO would be cool.
Or a Pretty Deadly rematch.
That's how you get Pretty Deadly back because you need to have Pretty Deadly and KO and Sami interact. That is just gold on a screen.
Well, because as of right now, they only have them being in the corner of Austin Theory, and I'm just like, I need them more than just being in support of Austin Theory. Thank you.
So yeah, I would. Well, who the hell is Jackie Redmond?
Oh, that's her name. That must be her name.
Oh, that's Jackie Redmond. Yes.
Yeah.
Jackie, yes. Jeez, that was bad. What the hell is it? All right, so let's wrap. I mean, that's what's I'm excited for this. We've gone really into this is exactly what I kind of wanted the show to be today. Because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, Sarah. All right. There's like so much with AEW, WWE. We have 5 weeks of SummerSlam, and I don't really want to go right into SummerSlam stuff. I started rewatching pay-per-views, but fell asleep. Casual. So you know, you only could see if you can't see your next step, just look at the one in front of you. So that's what I did. And we just talked about the sold out MSG SmackDown. And now it's time for the 1, 2, 3 count. Hit the bell. All right. Number 1, Sarah, you need to be elite. Okay. So I rewatched Dynamite and I wrote down some notes in my phone here about my favorite parts of it up until we had to record because I was watching it in the background, but we had to record and set up the show, whatever. So, first person, Orange Cassidy. You need to look up his highlights and just watch him. He is incredible.
Okay.
He is easily one of the most underrated wrestlers right now. He starts out Dynamite every week. Death taxes, freshly squeezed to kick off Dynamite. That's just what they do. And he puts on banger matches every week. His gimmick's over. He's laid back. He's cool. He just doesn't care. Like the kicks, you've probably seen clips of that online with the kicks that he does. He did one the other night in their match. They're doing a blind tag team eliminator where they do like the bingo wheel and they pick names out of the lottery bin, whatever. And whoever the 2 names that are picked, they're tag team partners. So that's how Adam Cole and MJF became partners. So it was Keith Lee and Swerve versus Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. And Keith Lee slapped Orange Cassidy so hard after he did his like half-ass slaps, like just like basically just like that. Weird image. Weird image there. And then Keith Lee just slapped the shit out of him with both hands. And the way he sold it, it didn't even sound like he sold it. Like that was his actual reaction because I physically felt that all the way here. So it was just, he's incredible. And then Darby Allin's awesome. Keith Lee, I think, should be a champion at some point.
Well, and I know who that is, obviously.
Yeah, obviously you know, but I think going off of that, I think he should be a champion. You know, maybe the next one to dethrone Orange Cassidy. That'd be pretty cool. MJF Adam Cole is climbing the ranks on one of my favorite feuds right now. It's so good what they're doing with the buddy complex, and because they were put together in this blind eliminator tag tournament, and they're he's just staring to this kid like, yeah, he's my pal, whatever, because he almost beat him. So it's that psychological storytelling in a way where he's not friends with him. And then their gym segment, I mean, the back and forth, and then their benching. MJF obviously puts up no problem. And then Adam Cole has this like weird moment where he says the same thing, like Jinx Yomi Soda thing with MJF, talk about some guy at the gym. And then Adam Cole puts up the same amount of weight. MJF doesn't realize it. And then their match was incredible. And at the end of the match, I have the notes here. I just read my notes here. Where is it? They win the match against the 2 randos. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you who those people were.
Oh, Daddy Magic. Do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard? That's his catchphrase. Swear to God.
Which one? The one that was in the trunks or the pants?
Pants.
Pants sucks.
It's Daddy Magic. He's part of the Jericho Appreciation Society.
I hate it. I did not like it. He's not good. I didn't like it.
Oh, I need that clip.
There was too many moments where he was standing there waiting for something to happen, and I was like, "No, this ain't it."
Oh, it's so funny. It was so funny.
No, and never say those words ever again to me. Not ever in your life say those words again, or I will jump out a window live on stream.
I watched a compilation one day of him just saying it over and over. It was so fucking funny.
No.
It's
Absolutely
so good. He does a lot of DraftKings promotions. He's so electric. He does
No.
commentary for Dark, or did when Dark was.
No.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
he's electric on commentary. They
He
need
can
him
join
more.
Matt Riddle on a remote island
No
somewhere.
way. Don't you dare put Daddy Magic on the same island as Matt Riddle.
His name is Daddy Magic. He deserves to be
No.
somewhere with.
He was in NXT. Look him up.
Don't care.
Oh,
I'm
my
glad
God,
he's gone. I'm glad he's gone.
No, you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you think.
That's how I feel right now. You talking about Daddy Magic.
Feel?
Well, how do you feel?
Dummy. Yeah. Yeah. Dummy. Yeah. Yeah. Dummy. Yeah. Yeah.
You. That was you. That was to you, dummy.
You want? Okay, so moving
Do
on.
not. I said if you ever say those words to me again, I will literally leave and jump out a window. I will. There's a window in front of me. I will.
That bad I make. Never mind. I'm not going down that road. All right, 2. Sarah, it's wrestling shirt season. All right, I hope all our peeps got their wrestling shirts on, or at least have them ordered, because not only AEW with Adam Cole and MJF's collab t-shirt, but WWE Shop as well has their own, and even the indie wrestlers.
Homage has some cool wrestling shirts too. I want to get some from there. Especially the NWO one, because it's one I can wear.
Yeah, it's a good material.
Because it's so nice. But yeah, they have some really cool ones. They have Razor Ramon on there too. So check out Homage, guys, because they do have some nice shirts. They sent me a shirt, but it's for the Patriots. So I was like, oh, I want to.
Yeah, we're not sponsored yet, so Homage, let's go.
They follow me.
Anything.
They follow me on Twitter.
They follow you on Twitter?
Yeah, that's how they reached out to me and sent me a free shirt.
This going Homage. Meet the champ.
Yes.
All right. So wrestling shirt season, I will flash mine. We got Hustle, Loyalty, Respect. I just bought it on the WWE Shop. Here's the thing. It is not like the old one of this, the original, we'll say OG. Better material. This is so comfy. This is what I wore on 4th or 3rd of July when I went on that boat. When I was on a boat.
Yes. Well, I have my 3. Which one of them is messed up because I wore my Imperium one. I wore that the other day. And then I also just got my John Cena one. Which I don't know that I'll wear this one because this one's not as soft, but I got it for the memes, okay? Because my other one is signed. So it's it's not that bad. No, this one's cool. You need to get this one.
No, I know. I like it.
It's so cool. I love that shirt.
See, now I want to get a WWE old logo visor and dress up as Cena for.
Oh my God. And the lock chain.
More people need to wear lock chains.
And then last night,
I
got my Pretty Deadly shirt, guys. So I will be wearing this on Saturday for our show.
Yes, boy! Yes, boy! Yes, boy! Yes, boy! Yes, boy! Yes, boy!
Yes, boy. I am so excited. Like, I'm so obsessed.
I love it. I need to order the LA Knight one. I'm going to order. I was thinking that I get the SmackDown generic shirt. You get the Raw.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that they had. I haven't seen it. I don't think.
Oh, they have generic ones, and I just think they're awesome. Makes me feel like I was drafted.
Yeah, I know. I have a shirt that's too small for me now because I told you I used to be able to wear children's sizes, but I'm no longer a tiny human. But it was one of the ones that says property of WWE. Remember they used to give those out to the recruits and stuff. I had one of those. I loved that shirt. I actually wore it to Access one day. I think I met Cody Rhodes in that. Yeah. 1 year. 2012, I think. But anyway, so yeah. I'm just very excited to wear my Pretty Deadly shirt.
Debuting that on Saturday after we watched the trial of Roman Reigns. Wrestling shirt season. So it's WWE, it's AEW, it's every wrestling promotion. If there's an indie wrestler that you want me to check out or want us to check out, What?
ProWrestlingTees.com also.
Yeah, them box of gimmicks.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees has a lot of indie wrestlers, and then also has some legends on there or whatever. Like Scott Hall's shirts are on there. Yeah, no. So there's like a lot of places that you can look because there's like you can get a shirt for almost anybody at this point, which is
you
pretty
really
cool.
can. My buddy, on Sunday, I'm going to Beyond Wrestling's having a show at Patriot Place.
Oh, cool.
In Foxborough. So I'm going to support my guy, the victorious one, BRG. And I think Becca's going to be there too. I love Becca. Oh, I love Becca. And I'll be getting a shirt from BRG. So, and then I will wear that on the show, next time. But tweet us or thread us. What's
I'm
that?
not on Threads, so
get on it. This is the alternative. This is the AEW of social media.
That is like definitely what's gonna make me go on it now.
All right, think of it as like the Impact. You could be like the Phenomenal.
I would rather is WCW. Hello.
All right, fine. Whatever the alternative to WWE.
I probably will eventually. I just don't feel like it right now.
I'm getting into it.
I'm not big on Instagram, so it's like.
Well, TNT or TNT Drama, that they're one of their accounts, threaded back at me a comment after they tweeted out something about like a wrestling gift or whatever. And I was like, that's just WCW. So, or Nitro, whatever I said. And then 3, ding, ding, ding. We always do predictions of what's going to happen on SmackDown, and it's kind of stale.
Okay.
We like switch things up, and let's end on a fun note. So, one wrestler, you and I will be thinking of one wrestler, and then we'll have to guess what wrestler we're thinking of based on the fun game everyone played in, I would think, every car ride you had with your family. 20 questions. So,
can you guess mine first?
Yeah, I'll get yours
because I've had it in my mind. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get yours. Okay. So, all right, 2000s to now. Red or blue brand? Known for.
I think. Huh?
What were they known for? Like being, because they probably may have been on both, but were they known for Raw or known for SmackDown?
Not really either. They were on both. Maybe more so NXT.
Okay. Were they part of? Were they a tag team champion?
I don't think so.
Oh, stump you. Where's my handy dandy notebook here? There we go. I'm gonna write down. I gotta start taking notes. My memory's so shit. It's just my short term is so bad. All right, so.
Okay, yeah, no, they were not.
They were not. Okay, no. Known for real NXT.
I mean, they were on the main roster too, but I just mean like they weren't like they bounced around because that was the era. Like they weren't sold on.
Did he wear? Oh, did he ever win a title?
Yep.
Is it a guy or a girl?
A guy.
Guy. Okay.
How many questions is that for?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Were they ever on WrestleMania? Pre-show. That counts.
Well, they had like I don't think no, I don't think so. Maybe pre-show, yeah, but like not. They weren't like people weren't like, oh my god, I can't wait to see this match with this guy. You know.
Okay. Did they wrestle in the 2010s? Did they wrestle in the 2010s?
Like 2010 to 2020?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did they wrestle between 2016 and 2020?
Yes.
Is it Velveteen Dream?
No.
EC3?
No.
Oh,
That's what, 9? That's 9 or 10?
9.
9. Okay.
All right, I'm trying to think. Did they ever have a manager?
No.
Were they known for a catchphrase?
I mean, no.
Yeah, peeps, help me out here. We're good. We're going to wait. I have a guess. Say it, dude. You guys. The peeps can take a question. I don't care. We're trying to think
Don't
of questions.
David guess. He probably knows it.
All right, 2016 main roster.
You're at 12, I think.
Not known for a manager. Were they part of a faction?
At one point, they were attacked. They were a part of like a little tag team.
Okay. Is it oh jeez, now I'm really thrown off. Tommaso Ciampa?
No.
Okay. They were competing in a ladder match?
Not a known one. No.
Okay. I thought I'd be a lot better at this.
That's why I wanted to save this one, because I was like, I came up with one that you might not be able to get.
Champion, part of a faction, a tag team.
Don't look at the comments unless you already did. Don't look. You just did. You're a cheater.
Is
Just
it
say
Mojo Rawley?
Yes. This is why I said don't look at the comments. Now I'm irritated.
Well, I was like,
you were nowhere near that. You
Mojo
were nowhere
Rawley
near.
won a singles title?
He won the WWE 24/7 championship.
That
7
doesn't
times.
fucking count.
7 times? 7 times?
What? 7 times?
He won it 7 times, and he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Jesus. All right.
David
All right,
ruined
guess
it.
mine.
Now you guys have to help me too, because you helped.
Oh,
him.
you have to help. That's this way it goes. Yeah.
Okay, is it male or female?
Male.
Did they wrestle between 2000 and 2010?
2010? No.
2010 to 2020?
Yes.
Were they ever WWE champion?
No.
Were they a mid-card champion? Intercontinental or US?
No.
Interesting. Were they in a faction?
You gave me this one, so it was faction tag team. Yes.
Okay.
And known.
A known tag team?
Like, they weren't a tag team. Like, he's not part of a known tag team, but this tag team teamed up where you remember these two teaming up.
Okay, did they win tag team titles?
Yes.
Are they still employed by WWE?
One is.
John Morrison.
No. You're like kind of there. Maybe not.
Are they a cruiserweight?
No.
I think I'm at 9. Let's see. Yeah, see, David got it because I said that he was known for partying. You would have gotten it probably a lot sooner if you remembered that.
Short-term memory. Busted.
Have we seen the one that's still employed? Have we seen his tag team on Raw or SmackDown recently?
No.
And
I'll help you out. They're not employed by WWE.
Yeah, you just said that. You said their tag team was. Their tag team partner still was, right?
Yes, he's not.
Yeah. Christian?
No, and no, David, they were not tag team champs. It's someone you know. That's why I'm not.
Ow! I just poked myself in the
You,
eye.
like if you're
That
throwing
was-
out Mojo Rawley, you should get this person.
Is it like he's like equivalent to Mojo?
More like 10 times
Like
more
along
over.
those lines? Zack Ryder.
No, but you're close with the fan favorite. Like over with the fans in that sense.
Am I at like 12? I think I'm at like 12.
Yeah, you're at like 12.
Okay, somebody okay. Did he ever have a Mania match?
We're going to the board.
Okay.
I need because I want you to get this, so I want this answer to be right.
I think your pick is wrong, David. Technically, his former partner is still employed
He's
by WWE.
looking at. I know who he's thinking of. Dude. I typed too fast. He competed at WrestleMania, yes. Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Got it. We got to start throwing out details to help you out.
Okay, is he currently in a group?
No,
So he's a solo guy?
he's not even. Yeah, he's not even.
Oh, that's
employed.
right. You said he's not even on TV right now.
You know, he's still wrestling.
Johnny Gargano.
No, the person I'm thinking of is not employed by WWE right now.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry. I got off track. Okay. Was he fired?
I gotta find it. To the Wikipedia page we go. He was released.
Okay, he
So,
was
like,
released.
Yeah.
And he competed in a battle royal, which means he was like not that great.
Don't think that. Don't think that. You're gonna get yourself in a bad. He was that great.
Is he currently employed by AEW?
No.
What am I at? Like 15? 14, 15?
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, David, you're no help. I see where your loyalty lies. It's interesting.
It's interesting. I would at this point I would just take all the questions because I just want you to get this.
Okay, so now I don't have to worry about question number.
Just keep going. Just fire questions.
Was he released during a time where a bunch of wrestlers were released? Like what was it, the 2021 or whatever era where it was like a ton of them were released?
Like the shocking, yeah.
So he was released
shocking. It was a shocking release.
In 2021?
No. In 2016.
Damn, okay. It was a shocking release. In 2016.
It's not Zack Ryder, David.
Yeah, no, I already said that. And you said no. In 2016. And you said no to John Morrison.
He's also employed by AEW.
Is he?
No, yeah, John Morrison is, yeah.
Oh.
He's in QT Marshall's, like, weird QTV. I think you're gonna be really mad when you don't get it. He teamed with your bae or one of your baes.
With one of my baes.
One of your favorite wrestlers he teamed with.
Finn Balor. Was it
No.
Finn Balor? Seth Rollins.
No.
Who else
He
is my
teamed with
bae?
one of your baes, but then he was more over in another tag team with an A-lister.
The Miz. Okay. That's who I kept going to. That's why I said John Morrison. Who was the Miz target? It's not Alex Riley because he was right. Because they were together. Was that right?
Alex Riley is not correct.
Oh,
someone else is correct.
Oh, well then I'm not. I don't want to look. I have it. I have a full screen. Okay, so he was also paired with. Who is the Miz? Okay. Damian Sandow.
There you go.
Yay! I was like, I'm trying to think of like, wait. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to think of who he was mostly. Yeah, Mizdow. I remember Mizdow.
It was the Mizdow.
Yeah, I remember that.
Over things. He was going in the ring. He would be his stunt double, and they won tag. They were the tag team champions, and then Miz wore both, and then he wore two of these. Like unbelievable.
Crazy. We picked really obscure people.
That's perfect. Like that's what that was for. Oh, I'm so happy that worked out like that.
I think I still got like 20, around 20.
You were there. You were there. David Hell. Once I said A-lister, I was like, oh, I hit a buzzword.
Yeah, so once you said that, then I was like, oh, okay, The Miz.
I had to help you out though.
I mean, I was there a little bit anyway.
It was a shocking release. That's what I was like. It really was. Like, why was he getting?
I don't know.
I don't know. We've been going for an hour and a half now, and it's been great. So much fun. Thank you guys for tuning into this. Hit that subscribe button, please, and share the love. All right, because we had this show. We had the Raw Rewind on Tuesday, and then we have a SmackDown Breakdown on Saturday before I go out and celebrate with the peeps. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. So go follow us on all the social media.
Yeah, just check the bio.
Just check the bio. I don't feel like going through the whirlwind. I am on Threads, though, Pitsy35. Go check me out there because I'm getting into that. We're going to start figuring that out. Yeah, David, I thought you knew it was going to be I knew my meant there. So go follow us there. Check out the link in bio for all the other social media platforms because I'm exhausted. Champ's got to go eat. So thank you for tuning in. God bless. Remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. We will see you on Saturday. Yeah.